Welcome to another Parasha and mental health reflection this week for the Sedra of Chukas. Are you somebody who's totally obsessed with having to know everything? Could be you need to know what's going on, the gossip, the paranoid you're going to miss a news story, and all day we're connected to a device that allows us to communicate with others, to stream into our consciousness the very latest goings on from all over the world. Now, knowledge is great, knowledge is powerful, knowledge gives you opportunities that without learning you would never have. So there's no suggestion here that knowing things isn't a good idea, but to be obsessed, to be driven all the time with a thirst to have to know. Now there's good knowledge and there's perhaps unnecessary knowledge. But those who are driven all the time by a paranoia, by a desire to have to always be clued in, FOMO, your fear of missing out, not just on social activities, but on what other people are doing, can drive people to despair. And along comes this week's Torah portion and presents to us a mitzvah that seems to have no obvious rationale. The mitzvah of Para Aduma, how this red heifer was used in a ritual to allow somebody who's come in contact with death and therefore is graded on the highest level of spiritual impurity to regain their pure status, was beyond even the wisest of all people. King Solomon tried, and it's beyond. Now we have to understand as believing Jews that the Torah's mitzvot makes sense. It wouldn't be very sensible to declare a mitzvah to be meaningless, because then that would undermine the giver of the Torah, God, and then it would all fall apart. So we're challenged this week to live our lives without actually understanding everything. To say that knowledge is powerful, knowledge is meaningful, and we have to pursue knowledge because it gives opportunities and with it you can do tremendous things. But sometimes step back from the pursuit, the endless pursuit of having to know everything. And that desire can sometimes drive a person to distraction, to despair, can push you off course, it can drive you crazy. Sometimes we have to learn to trust and to love. From the Torah's point of view, trust and loving God, that this mitzvah makes sense, is part of a relationship with God. But in a human relationship, trust and love can take away the need to always be informed. If you trust and love somebody, you don't always have to know the why they're asking from you. And surely that type of relationship is a much more beautiful one, it's a much more powerful one, is a much more authentic one. So stop always asking why and learn to trust and to love those around you without always having to know why. Have a good day. Shabbat Shalom.